We are live on YouTube. I'm Arden Kawin, and today we are talking about the #1 superpower to win auditions. This is a topic, you guys, especially for those of you who are out there as Broadway singers, as opera singers, those of you who have to put yourself out there and do showcases, right? And so here's my question. Do you find that you have what I call FOPO? FOPO, F-O-P-O, fear of other people's opinions, otherwise known as fear of being judged. Because you guys, taking things personally is the #1 killer of good auditions and the #1 killer of dreams and the ability to perform in a way that has the power to change your life. And that is why the #1 superpower to win auditions is not taking things personally. So if you're doing anything worthwhile, guys, anything at all, there's 100% chance that people are going to have opinions about what you do. There's 100% chance that you will be judged. 100%. Because when you're putting yourself out there in bigger and more powerful and more dynamic ways, somebody somewhere is not going to like what you do. You're not going to be their cup of tea, and there are a million reasons for this. But the thing that I want you to know right now, straight out the gate, is that the majority of these reasons don't have anything to do with you. So today, we're going to talk about the superpower of how to not take that stuff personally so that you can go into your auditions and your performances from a place that serves what your body is going to do instead of sabotages it. So there's a great quote that I love, which is, "What you think of me is none of my business." Have you guys ever heard that quote? What you think of me is none of my business. And I absolutely love this quote because when I talk to singers, and you guys, I have helped hundreds of singers save their voice and their career and be more successful. So we have these conversations all the time. And when I talk to singers, the part that just kills me is when they hold back or they stop taking action because of this fear of what will people think? What will the auditioners think? What will they think of me, of my sound, of how I look, of my performance? And so they just end up tiptoeing around their special sauce, as it were, and playing it safe in those auditions because they're constantly trying to manage their auditions and performances to avoid any kind of negative judgment or commentary. It's like they're so focused on pleasing everyone because they think that that's the way that they're going to have a big, successful singing career. And it is just not the case. It's just not the case because everybody on that audition panel and everybody in that audience has different perceptions, different preferences, different things that they like, that they admire, that they value. And you cannot be everything to everyone. But when you're so focused on being judged and worrying about that, and in your head of worrying what people think and trying to please everyone in your sound, in your performance, in how you look, you play it safe and you energetically contract, whether you realize it or not. And then you don't access the full power of your instrument, of your sound, of the truth of you in that audition, in that moment. Your sound and your performance just ends up being a fraction of what you're capable of. And so you don't make a big impact on those auditioners, on that audience, the kind of impact that you need to make in order to win that audition and have a big singing career. And so while playing it safe, perhaps, you didn't get a horrible reaction to your audition, but you also didn't blow them away either. What you've done is you've just left them lukewarm, which doesn't make them want to hire you if it's an audition. And it certainly doesn't make them keep wanting to come back for more. If you're a recording artist, more spins on your single. If you're a touring artist, more tickets that you sell to the shows because they just want to keep coming back again and again and again. So in trying to please everyone and avoid judgment, you actually take yourself farther away from the career success that you really want. Okay? And the second point I want you guys to understand is that judgment is going to happen anyway. I guarantee that there will be people who do not like what you do, who do not like your voice. There will be people who just don't jive with your thing, whatever that is. No matter how talented or how successful you are, it is a guarantee. And guess what? The more successful you get, the more people there will be to judge or dislike your music, because there's going to be that many more people who know who you are. Okay? Like if you think about Lady Gaga puts herself out there in these crazy ways that are authentic to her, and she doesn't care. She's going to be judged. It doesn't matter. You wear a dress made out of meat to the MTV Video Awards, whenever that was, 15, 20 years ago, like there are people who do not like that she did that, who think it's weird, who judge her for being whatever, right? And then there are the people who are her fans, who are her people, who love that she does stuff like that. So if you can just get that you're going to be judged anyway, it's going to happen anyway. There will be those people, and you cannot control what people think of you. Why? Because what people think of you is none of their business. It's none of your business, because you can't control it. And it doesn't even matter how successful or talented you are. So if you can just get that, then there's this acceptance. And there can be even a lot of freedom around that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and their personal experiences and tastes and perceptions. The lenses that they, are seeing you through are theirs. And it has to do with them, not you. So my point is that you put yourself and your voice out there. You go to the auditions and you do you. And as long as you're being true to your voice, your sound, your truth, you have zero control over how other people are going to interpret that. So you might as well stop trying and quit letting that affect your impact. So just understand that it's something that you have to accept. When you start playing a bigger game and start putting yourself and your voice out there more auditions, higher level auditions, there are always going to be people who don't like what you do. But you know what else is going to happen? There are going to be other people who you impact incredibly in a very powerful way. There are going to be other people who watch your auditions, and for them, you are it. They have just been waiting for you to come into that audition room because they have not been jiving with anybody else who's come before you. And when they see you, you are it for them. And they become fans of yours for life, and they will hire you over and over and over again. And you guys, it works that way for me too. Look, I don't have too many haters, but there have definitely been those over the years who didn't like my voice, who didn't like my performances, who preferred something different. Or even now, as in my coaching journey, people who from time to time have put hurtful things in the comments of my teaching videos, and my YouTube stuff, and my Insta stuff, whatever. But also, there are also thousands of singers who thank me every day for helping them here with what I share in social, in Facebook, in YouTube, and the hundreds of singers who I've personally transformed, who have worked with us in our intensive training program. Singers who are doing incredible things with their singing careers now, thanks to the work that we've done together. So I have a simple choice to make. Am I going to allow what people say about me to stop me from doing all of that impactful work? Or am I just going to keep doing my thing and shine my light? And the people who resonate with what I'm doing will find me. And the people who don't like what I'm doing, okay, I'm not for them. They can go find another singer, another teacher who they do drive with. It's none of my business. So you can't take on what people think, because if you do, it sabotages your performances. It prevents you from the full power of your instrument and your impact and your sound, because you're too busy trying to fit yourself into a bubble, into this tiny pretzel package that everybody would like. And in doing so, you're really what nobody loves, And it stops you from doing what you were put on this planet to do. And to me, guys, that is the saddest thing in life, is wasted talent. The biggest tragedy is wasted talent. And I don't want your talent to go to waste just because you're trying to control what these auditioners and your audience thinks of you, or what the listeners might say. So the only thing you should be focused on is you being the very best version of you. Not so that somebody else will like you or your performance, not so that somebody else will accept you, not so that you can avoid somebody saying something not so nice about what you're putting out there, not so that you can impress some auditioner because you heard that they like voices that sound like this, so you're gonna disregard what your unique sound is and try to twist yourself into a pretzel to be what you think they like to get that job. But how's that gonna go if you actually get that job? Now you're doing 8 performances a week with a sound that you can't maintain because it's not you. And you know what? You might end up getting fired from that show. Okay? So you really have to do a heart and a gut check to say, am I really taking aligned action when I go to auditions, when I do my recordings or performances? Am I really able to make an impact in that audition room? Are my performances really aligned? Are my auditions really aligned with who I am and the truth of my sound and all its power? And if you can really stand firmly in that and say yes to those things and stand in that truth and be centered in that, then all the other stuff really just does not matter. Just get that as long as you're showing up as the highest and best version of you, as a singer, as a performer, some people will love what you do and some people won't. And that's okay. And at that point, it's just not even about you anymore. Like, it's not even in your hula hoop, because controlling what somebody else thinks of you was never in your control. It was never in your hula hoop. Now, if you do not feel that you are able to take inspired action in your singing career, that you are able to go after the things that you want, if you really do not feel like you know how to make an impact, to win auditions, your performances, if you feel like you do not yet understand to get performances that really are aligned and auditions that are aligned with who you are and the truth of your sound and all its power, then you've got some work to do, because those things are in your hula hoop. Those things are within your sphere of influence. So look, if you want help learning how to make that impact in every performance from the truth of you, if you want help to get past those roadblocks that are preventing you from showing up in that power and belief and truth, so that your sound shows up in all of its power and impact, so that you can deliver that every single time it counts. If you want help to do that, then we need to talk. Guys, I know that I have a lot of content about vocal technique on, here in this group, in this channel, and a big part of what I do with the singers in our intensive training program is teach them high-level vocal technique and set up that rock-solid, reliable foundation. And that technique is a huge part of what we do with our singers. But right alongside that, as we're setting up rock-solid technical foundation, what we are also doing is showing our singers how to understand and rewire the parts of their mindset and their thinking that have also been holding them back. Because I can teach a singer the best technique in the world, and trust me, this is the best technique in the world. Anyone who was in our 7-day workshop last week can attest to that. You guys were just like, oh my God, you were killing it with breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. This is the best technique in the world. My singer's words, not mine. But I can give that to you and it won't matter. if you're still contracting around what people will think of you and that fear of judgment, your brain will continue to convince you to play it small and play it safe and sabotage you from trusting and using all of that badass technique the moment you get in front of anybody else, any kind of audience, audition, whatever. Because if you're not where you want to be with your singing and your singing career, I guarantee you there's stuff in your mindset that's holding you back. I think maybe I've had in the whole course of my teaching, maybe like one or two that were completely dialed in mentally and they just needed technique. If that's ever happened, I can't even really think of it. Pretty much all the time, guys, you need the technique, but there's all this other stuff, the emotional stuff, the mindset stuff, the real stuff that's holding you back in being able to utilize that technique for the impact and power that you otherwise could have. So I want to help with all that stuff at the same time. I want to give you the rock solid technique to know you can rely on your voice when it counts. And I want to up-level you and how to show you how to show up to your voice and your journey and yourself in the world so that you make a big impact and you feel good while you do it. So I have a frog in my throat. Hang on. So if that's something that you want me and my team to teach you and to help you with, then I want to invite you to book a free breakthrough call with me. In order to do that, if you're watching this on YouTube, just go and look into the video description copy. The link to book a call with me is in the video description copy. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm going to put the link in the comments below. Let me grab it right now. La, 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 la. Where'd it go? I just had the link. Hang on. I'm grabbing the link because I want you guys to be able to book a call, and let's talk about the gap between where you are and where you want to go, the things that you want versus the things that are not happening. And, despite all of the training and hustle and everything that you've been doing in order to try to get there, why that feels like it's not working. And we're going to talk it out. And I'm copying this. And I'm going to share with you how the step-by-step of how we take singers from good to great, from not winning auditions to booking equity shows, from recordings that get 0 listens, 100 listens, 1,000 listens to hundreds of thousands and millions of listens. So I'm putting this link in the chat right now. There you go. Wait, that doesn't look right to me. That's not right. I'm sorry, you guys. The link is usually right here in my thing, and for some reason, it was not where I wanted it to be. That's right. Okay, hang on. Don't click that. Okay, that link is not the right link. Let's undo that. Of course, now it won't let me. Let's see if this works. Okay. The second one is the right one. As you guys sometimes know, me and technology sometimes take a minute to get copacetic. Anyway, get on my call calendar. I want to show you how to up-level your voice. This is something that is for those singers who have been able to get to a certain level and now you just don't understand why you don't have the big career and the big paychecks and the big opportunities that you see all the other singers at your same level getting, and you don't understand why not you. Okay, so this call is not for singers who are just starting. Like if you have never had one-on-one technical training before, if you're just starting, if you're not, in the hustle of auditioning, recording, performing, then this call is not for you. Go get some basic level training first. This would be a great time to get moving on that. But if you have had training and you are not seeing the results of that in the form of the career that you want and at being at the level that you want, if right? Like if you know that you're talented, but you're still stuck at low-level opportunities, stuck at a day job that you hate, and it's making you wonder, and it's making you question your talent. Am I really good enough to do this? Like, and you're starting to have those doubts. Like if you're tired of that stress and pressure, then don't waste time. Use the link, get on my call calendar. We're going to get on the phone for about half an hour and we're going to get clear on what's working and what's not. Why aren't your auditions and performances or recordings making that impact and getting you where you want to go? Where you're frustrated? What do you need in order to get there? What is the missing piece and how to build that foundation? And I'll share with you a step-by-step game plan for you to start doing that in your singing. And so if that's something that you want me and my team and our help to do, and you have talent and training, and you've been out there hustling and you're ready to break through to that next level, and you want our help to execute, cool. If not, that's cool too. Either way, my goal is to give you massive, massive clarity on that and show you a way to train that can get you there. And then if you want to work with us to do it, I will show you what that looks like. And if you don't, that's okay too. So click the link in the description of the video copy if you're watching on YouTube. Click the link in the Facebook comments if you're watching on Facebook. Book that appointment. Let's talk today. And I will see you guys back here next week. Okay, everybody. Bye.